Today we are at the Maltese Pasizzi Bar and Restaurant with the owner, Mark Mitzi, who is also one of our gold sponsors for Season 5. So thank you, Mark, for supporting Maltese Down Under.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Now, before we go into how this Pasizzi Bar came about, we're going to talk about your background in hospitality. So you've been in the hospitality industry for quite a while.
Yes, over 35 years. Yes.
Tell us more about that. How did you get started in that?
Well, I've always been involved in food at the age of 13, working in a restaurant, working at the back, cooking, washing dishes and so forth. But my passion of food has always been there from the start. Then, of course, I worked for Nestle Food Service in hospitality there for 7 years, and also owning my own reception venue as well, which is Gardenhurst Receptions. And I've been involved with Mexican restaurant with Taco Bell's for 9 years. And then I said one day to Susan, my partner, I said, maybe we should look at doing something for the Maltese, and let's just do a little small Maltese, little Pasizzi bar, and this is where the name Pasizzi Bar came from. And what we did was, just as a thought, said, let's just give it a try. We'll try it at the other restaurant, and we did. And from there, it just basically went on from strength to strength, and we went next door and we said to them, listen, are you guys interested in moving out? And they said, we do. So we just said, okay, let's...
We took the opportunity.
We took the opportunity, and here we are today.
So, as you said, you've worked in a Mexican
environment for the last 9 years, yes.
And finally, you came back to your culture, to Maltese.
That's correct, yes.
What about the recipes that you used here?
All recipes are traditional recipes from grandparents and parents and mum and so forth. But a lot of the things that we do are traditional foods. Being a chef as well, we don't want to tweak with a lot of the Maltese traditional meals. Of course, we're never going to do it better than what mum or grandma does, but we try to emulate the flavours and so forth, try to get them as close as we can to, everyone's taste is different and everyone's upbringing is different, but we try to make sure that we get them tried as traditional as possible. Yeah.
So what does one expect when they come to the Maltese Pasizzi Bar and Restaurant?
Well, the environment is important. I'm being a musician for over 30 years. The important thing is to make sure that you walk in, you have a good aura about the place, friendly approach, customer service is important, Maltese haven't had many restaurants, and so it's very daunting for them to walk in and expect something to be as walking into a house full of a family and friends and so forth, and hosting a dinner and so forth. And that's what we try to emulate with all our clients and people.
What about the menu? Run us through the menu.
Well, the menu changes every week, and the reason why we do this is because we don't want a whole extensive menu, because then obviously to do that you don't know what you're going to cater for throughout the week. So what we do 3 or 4 main dishes a week, and we change them every week. And by doing that, if someone wants to come in every week, at least they know it's going to be a different menu every time.
Something different.
Knowing that the Maltese cuisine is not quite extensive, but the good thing about it is it's full of flavours.
What have been the hits so far? I would think Fennec.
Well, Fennec, believe it or not, is actually starting tomorrow, which is on Tuesday. Yes, and that's going to run for the whole week. And the response over that, especially over Facebook, has been incredible. But the braciole have been very popular. Last week we did the Arun with the long macaroni. The roasted fawn was very popular. The raviolis on every day of the week. But the hops bezait, which we make a very traditional one, was my dad's traditional meal that he liked, and unfortunately that was the last meal that I had with my dad when we went out together, when he lived in Bormla. And the thing is, the most important thing for me is to make sure that we try to get it right, okay? If we don't get it right, and someone tells us it's not right, we take criticism on board, and we try to emulate what we can do for them.
You mentioned Bormla. Tell us more about your family history, or your family, the family
Bormla
history.
was where my dad loved to go to get his hops bezait. So this is why I went with my dad to Bormla. My dad actually was grown up in Lisla.
Right.
But my mum was in Calcara, so they were very close together.
Yep.
So if anybody knows where the Graggiola is in Lisla, that's where mum and dad used to meet when they were
how
dating.
romantic's that?
Yes. But between Calcara, Birgu, Bormla and Lisla, where all, a lot of the recipes have come from as well. This is where majority of my family have grown up, and I go and visit my mum every year.
So they migrated here in...
Oh, they migrated back and forth every year. Yep, every 3 years they used to come down because they have got children and siblings here. Yes.
But you were born here?
I was born here. Yes.
Even though you were born here, تتكلم بالمالتي سوا.
ملا ما نتكلمش
بالمالتي. يفهم سوا ملا عادي نفس الشيء
نكتب وان كان أعرف بالمالتي.
علاش حسيت الاحتياج اللي تتعلم المالتي؟
شمرت Malta. I went to Malta when I was 8 years old.
اللي بتلي على الإنجليز.
All right. متى كان 8 سنين مرت مالتا وقعدت مال 3 سنين عشان ما يصيري بيحكوا كله شاوك بحال حفنا مالتين اللي يعملوا مرو جمالت بشيء دوام مات مسير أو ما تنشم فطور علينا allora جينا when I was 11 years old.
وزميت المالتي تايين.
Provide too.
What I noticed as well, we're talking about how Marx picks Maltese as well, even though he wasn't born in Malta, but he spent 3 years in Malta.
Yes.
I noticed I was here a few days ago sampling your beautiful food.
Thank you.
And I noticed that, you know, the way that you come around and you make everyone feel welcome and you put in that little bit of Maltese as well, it really feels like home.
It does. Especially when someone walks in the door and as soon as you say to them bonjour, they feel at home from the start. They feel welcome, and as our slogan says, you know, our family is your family. It's an important part. As soon as they walk in that door and as soon as they walk out that door, that's the most important thing for us.
You mentioned how it's a bit daunting walking into a Maltese restaurant because there haven't been many in the past.
Correct.
Why do you think that's so?
Well, majority of Maltese, of course, they've grown up with the cooking of mum and grandma. And because there hasn't been any Maltese restaurants around, it's for them to go out to a Maltese restaurant, it's an unknown. You know what I mean? I mean, there's been a few restaurants that have tried and haven't succeeded for various reasons. But I think that the most important thing is that they're used to the cooking from mum and grandma.
Yeah.
And this is the hardest thing that we had to endure from the start. This is why we've tried to do it from the start right, and we're doing it right well. This is what we're getting the feedback and everybody's telling us. But the important thing is that it's the generation that's coming through today is what we're looking at as well, because the generation will bring the parents to the restaurant where they wouldn't be able to do that in the past.
Yeah.
And of course the generation coming through today are able to take their Greek, Italian, Chinese or whatever it might be to their cultural that they've been brought up with as far as the food's concerned. So that's where we're looking at, because eventually we'll open on the Fridays and the Saturday nights, which we only open for lunches at the time being. But that's what we're emulating. That's what we're trying to get through, basically, to get the culture, the generation to basically continue on and be proud of what they're taking their friends to eat.
And I must admit, it is so nice to be able to bring friends and family, or mostly friends from other cultures, to enjoy Maltese food and a Maltese atmosphere outside of Malta.
100%. And that's what Sue and I are trying to do. We're trying to make sure that, you know, we're very kid friendly because we all have children.
Yeah.
And we're just trying, we make sure that when those kids walk in, we're making them feel welcome as well. Because, you know, yourself, you go to restaurants today, kids, you know, it's not kid friendly. We make sure the kids get a little gift before they leave. We make sure that the kids are happy. If they, you know, if they want something that they're not eating, we'll try to make sure that they're happy. If they're happy, the parents are happy as well. So,
was it daunting starting a new business when you're sort of more mature in life?
Yes, we're noticing that it takes up a lot of your time. I mean, people think, you know, just running a restaurant's easy, but I'm running 2 restaurants, not just the one. Sue and I, you know, it has taken a lot of our time. You know, we're here from 6 o'clock in the morning and we don't leave till 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening. So, you know, it's a 12-hour shift. And then we start next door. So that's the hardest part. But listen, we're enjoying it because the people are enjoying it, and we can't ask for more than that.
What about your kids? What do they think?
Well, my 10-year-old daughter, she's actually here helping us. She loves putting on the gloves and she loves making the hops.
So she's right in it.
Oh yes, and a lot of people that will see the program will know that they've been here and they've seen my daughter, and they say she is an amazing person. But yes, the kids love it. The kids love it. Sue
is Mark's partner, and no background in hospitality, So
No.
So it must have been quite daunting for you.
Yes, it was. It was very daunting.
Tell it, was it what you expected?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
The overwhelmness that people feel when they come in here took us by surprise.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people very emotional.
Extremely emotional.
Really?
A lot of people walk in, hear the music, taste the food, and us talking to them Maltese just get very emotional and cry, don't they? Even men.
It makes us very proud to do that. We get a buzz when we see people walking in, and especially when Mark's at the coffee machine, first thing he does is bonjour, and they're already smiling. So and that's a great start.
That's something that Maltese are well known for. Their hospitality and their friendliness. So it's something that definitely comes across as soon as you enter here. And you've also got your mum involved as well.
Yes. She's our back lady.
Yep.
And what does she do? Obviously, first of all, recipes and the experience of Maltese cooking.
She makes the best bagilla.
Best bagilla in town. Best bagilla in town.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say better than everyone else's, but I'm just saying she makes very good bagilla. Remember, we're not better than anyone else's mum or grandma, yes?
And of all this food that you're cooking here, what's your favourite?
Hops Bizet would be my favourite, but the Bracioli is probably my favourite. Yes.
What's the secret when you're preparing Maltese food?
Passion.
Passion.
Without a doubt, is passion. What you put into it is what you get out of it. The main pleasing thing for us, Susan and I, is when we see the plates that are empty, we know we've done our job.
Some of them don't need to be washed. And that's no joke.
Well, ours didn't when we came in.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us more about the location, because you're situated in Essendon.
That's correct.
So in the west of Melbourne, where you find a big concentration of Maltese.
Yes.
Was that part of the, factors, something that factored in?
I've been in Essendon for a long time, for probably the last 20 years, and I know that there's quite a big Maltese, community in the
around,
area.
yeah.
Yes. But the good thing about it is that it doesn't matter where you are. If this was on the other side of the city, people from the west will travel to the
Yes.
east, and vice versa. We had a lot of people from Adelaide. We've got a busload coming in from Sydney, and we had Brisbane and Perth last week. So, and that's what it's all about.
Now, the restaurant has
Yes.
only been open for a few weeks,
Yes,
really,
that's correct,
since
yes.
June
the 26th.
26th.
Was
But
the
you've
inception.
been so busy, and
have
it
been.
was quite overwhelming, I would think.
It has been very, very overwhelming. Yes.
So make sure you book before you come.
100%, especially on the weekends, you must book. I mean, we did a Father's Day promotion, and 240 seats sold within 24 hours.
Oh my goodness,
So it's
that's fantastic.
It is. It's great, and obviously
fantastic.
we can see that the power of Facebook and the power of programs as yourself is what gets the word around, and for that we're forever grateful. So.
Well, this program thanks you so very much for supporting us.
Thanking you.
And it's a pleasure for us to support you as well.
And the pleasure's all mine.
And for those watching, you've got to come to the Maltese Pasizzi Bar and Restaurant. Enjoy this incredible atmosphere that they've got here. It's just a little taste of Malta in Melbourne.